Hey, Max here, and I'm here to talk to you with a hot topic about Star Wars. And it's about Episode 9 and Solo. Is Episode 9 dead on arrival? Which I think it is. And what is in worse shape? Solo or Episode 9? And because of what's happening with Mark and his reluctance to come back, they may force him to do a Force Ghost scene. But with all the OG characters basically gone, and Solo at least has a connection to the original trilogy, even if that Han isn't our Han, I'm kind of thinking that Episode 9 is in worse shape than Solo. And I don't think Solo is going to be that great either. So that's what this topic is about, is Episode 9 dead on arrival now. I have little to care about Episode 9 because of the way all the plot thread... Well, let me get to the... I'm starting already. I forget to get to the warning. Warning! This video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and a Mad Max. I never thought that I would say I'm not interested in Episode 9. And I'm not. Because of all the plot threads that were dropped and all the characters that were treated so bad that there's nothing to look forward to. I mean, maybe they'll come up with something very surprising and amazing, but I just don't see it. Especially, the other reason I don't see it is because they're rushing into production yet again. George Lucas himself said to do it right, you need 10 years. All right, so let's really dive into this hot topic and talk about it. When developing the new saga, all the writers could not have Luke in scenes because Luke overshadowed all the new characters. And guess what? Those same new characters are all that's left. That should have been the first clue they need to take more time to get it right. Also, what do you think of my thumbnail? It's based on Weekend at Bernie's. And it's got Kathy, Ryan, and JJ. And we're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? That's really how I feel Lucasfilm and the franchise is right now. The sequel trilogy to one of the best trilogies of all time. They're not really admitting it because they can't. They need to make money. So, Star Wars Episode 9 movie debuts on December 20th, 2019. And I think it's dead on arrival. Even worse, even more so than Solo. The more I think about it. It's going to start filming this summer. Did JJ even want to come back? And that's another reason I created this thumbnail of them forcing him to come back to fix the mess they made. And I don't think he has it in him. Especially not with this short period of time. They didn't course correct. I believe, my opinion, they're course correcting behind the scenes for after Episode 9. But for Episode 9, I think they're just going at business as usual. Just get it out so we have something for the parks and the streaming service release. I don't think they adjusted their plan at all after the backlash hit. And that's a shame. And Ryan's head there is like too big for that body. Wow. Okay. How can Star Wars fans be in such denial? I mean, we all knew something was up with Mark at Star Wars Celebration before The Last Jedi debuted. And how many statements and the look in his eyes. This is so painful to watch such a great actor that's a champion for the franchise. He's not greedy. He doesn't say, well, how much are you going to pay me to bring me back? He wants to get the band back together. So it's a shame of how he's treated. If you haven't guessed by now, I made 2 April Fool's videos. The Luke is Alive script that was leaked in the Johnson & Johnson Star Wars trilogy. And my idea for Luke to come back was in jest with the double doppelganger idea. But I thought of that idea because I did want him to come back. But since I made that video, my position has changed. I don't really necessarily want him back at all, even in the Force Ghost scene, because of the way it hurts him of what his, you know what, expectations, okay, he did have expectations, and they're not met, and he's sad about it. Sad about not having his friends there, of all these new characters that are not cool. That's why they should have, big warning sign. So, I don't even want him to come back as a Force ghost, because it's not going to be cool. Maybe they can make it cool, I just don't see it. Especially if he doesn't want to do it. But I'm down on how they treated Mark. Even if they could retcon the junk that they did to his character in The Last Jedi, do you viewers want him to come back? Do you want him to be suffer anymore and do another press tour? If he's in one little scene, they're going to make him do another press tour of something he doesn't believe in because he's under contract. Star Wars used to bring him joy. He was one of the most enthusiastic and happy actors. He was eager to get started in this trilogy. He was championing the cause. He was narrating, in the behind the scenes on The Force Awakens, he was narrating the whole thing, and he had to sit on the sidelines. And then to sit on the sidelines and to finally get your shot, and then to have this guy tell you what you're supposed to do and not consider your thoughts on the character at all. When George Lucas owned Star Wars, but Mark Hamill made Luke's character. There's such an optimism and greatness to Luke that it wouldn't be there without Mark Hamill. So he should have had a say, and to be completely ignored is horrible. I've said this before, I cannot think of another character or actor that has been treated this bad. If you want Star Wars to be great, make it a collaboration. And then Rian, after the fact, to say it would be so simple to have kept him there on that island. I plan on maybe making another video about Colin Trevorrow, what he thinks. If there's anyone behind the scenes of this drama that I would love to ask a question, it would be Colin, because he was on fire himself after Jurassic World. He could have done the Jurassic World 2 that we're getting now, but he went to do and set up his production. That was his next big thing, was Star Wars Episode 9. And for this guy on the right to say it would have been easy for me to keep Luke there, and that's the only thing, well, we don't know if it's the only thing, but that's the biggest thing that Colin had an issue with, that he wanted in his script, and for him to say it was easy for him to do it, but he still didn't do it, that really shows you what kind of person he is. He's not a collaborator, and I don't know what was going on between them, but that's lame. Say after the fact, oh yeah, I could have done it. What an egomaniac. What are your thoughts on that comment? Okay. And Disney, Kathleen, JJ, and Rian came in on like the Yoko Ono and killed Star Wars, the OG band. They killed the joy. They killed it for the actors, and they killed it for the fans. I worked on this thumbnail really hard, and it is a parody, but is really how I view Star Wars right now. A dead corpse that Disney is carting around and whipping. I think George was right. They are so greedy, they are whipping Star Wars a dead corpse. If they had writers block every time Luke entered the scene and they couldn't figure it out, they should have delayed the production till they got it right. Or brought on someone that cares about Star Wars. Because I know you viewers and I can think of many things to do with Luke, Leia, and Han. Get the band back together. That's what, well, everyone but Harrison Ford wanted. Harrison Ford wanted out. But that's what the rest of them wanted. That's what the fans wanted. And we'll never get it. They were talking about, George was talking about the sequel to the original trilogy for so long. Of course, he went back and forth, flip-flopped it. Oh, I'm not going to do it. But there was always some type of plan, and we never got it, and we never will. That's so sad. Now, getting back to episode 9, this is the first time they're going to release a movie, and this is why I think it may actually do worse than Solo. This is the first time they're going to release a movie that doesn't have the opportunity to squeeze the last bit of life of the OG characters. There's nothing left. Rogue One was a prequel and heavily depended on the OG trilogy. They tricked us with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and exploited fans wanting to see the band back together. And I think actually 9 is going to be worse. Just a quick thing that I would think would have been cool for them to do what if they captured Leia to lure Luke out? Leia to have her scenes confronting her son, and then the throne room scene have Luke, he could have still died, but Luke sacrificed himself to save his sister for Luke to join in one more adventure. Luke deserved one more adventure, Mark did, and so did we. That's what we wanted. So my questions for you are, I am boycotting Solo, but it at least has ties to the OG characters. So do you think it's possible 9 is dead on arrival and may even be in a worse situation than Solo? And my other questions for you are, my April Fool's joke came out of the wanting to have Luke alive and on an adventure again. But I've changed my position. It seems really hard for Mark, and I don't even really want him to have to do anything for this. I just want it to be finished. So, if you look at all the interviews he's doing that he's under obligation contract to do, and you see how hard it is for him, do you want him to even do anything for 9? Do you want him to have that Force Ghost scene? But because more than likely, we could speculate all we want, they're probably going to do the most basic thing and have him as a Force Ghost. Do you want it still? And then I did make some more images for this episode. Perfect example of the true state of Star Wars. Star Wars is dead. But they won't admit it because they want to make more money. And they're still trying to sell it to the public. And then there's so many scenes with him and Rian where I think it looks like Mark is trying so hard to stay under control. And I do not believe in violence on anyone, but every time he takes out his camera and takes a picture of Mark, it drives me crazy. I want to launch his camera into a galaxy far, far away, or throw it on the ground. I really do, because it's the worst thing is he killed Luke for everybody. He killed Mark's joy, and then he's going to take pictures. Did you see the last interview they did where he's taking a picture of Mark? Mark's face was stoic and he was grinning, or he looked so annoyed with it. And that's why I want to throw it on the ground. Don't you dare take another picture of Mark because he's annoyed by this junk. Okay, now I have 2 comments while I was working. Actually, I was replying to a lot of comments because I was trying to get this video done. But this made my day. Steve Rogers. Finally, a YouTuber that's not hypocritical, biased, blood-sucking leech like John Campia. You, sir, got yourself a new subscriber. And that it's not about that, because I don't ask for subscribers. But Steve Rogers, he's my favorite Avenger, and I'm so happy he's in on the conversation. And I cannot wait for Infinity War. That's one movie that you can't overhype. 10 years of movie-going experience. I cannot wait. I really hope I could see it opening day. Are you guys going to try opening day? It's going to be hard to get tickets. And then here's another viewer comment, Jim Barth. Mark Hamill is not done. He can't. He's under contract for 9. And that's why I included it here. If he doesn't want to do it, and they obligate him just to do that lame Force Ghost scene, do you still want it to happen? Because I'm done with it. I love Luke as a character. Mark Hamill is one of my favorite actors because he's enthusiastic and he's not greedy. He has a passion for it. And if he doesn't want to do it, I say let it go. Just let it be done. So that's my thoughts. What are yours? And don't be silent now. Rant on, my friends. This is the most important time, and there's going to be in Star Wars movie history, and there's going to be more coming about when Solo comes out. I want to get stuff done for it when May the 4th, the boycott starts. So, and this is also where I want to remind you, you don't have to follow me anywhere. Patreon stinks. TeePublic is lame. I'm not for movie talk cam girls. I don't work for tips, I work for comments. If you want to talk, I'll try my best to talk to you, even if you don't agree. That's the other point of these videos that I think a lot of viewers miss, is I'm giving a strong opinion because that's what I cannot stand in movie news. They just comment without going one way or the other. That's what I could promise you viewers is a strong opinion. And I would love to even hear opposing opinions. I'll talk about anything. You want to comment, you don't have to super chat, pay for a question. Just comment below. I'll try to respond, and I'll see you on the next hot topic. Join in the conversation, guys.